Right behind me, I've got the 2026 Ram 2500 Limited Longhorn. If you guys are new to the channel, my name is Jason and I do reviews on vehicles here in Canada, so reviews just like this. If you love car reviews, be sure to like this video and also subscribe to the channel. And also thank you to Milton Chrysler for allowing me to review this beautiful Ram 2500 Limited Longhorn. So in today's video, I'm going to be going over the different models that you do get with the Ram 2500s, the safety features that do come with the Limited Longhorn model here, the engine specs, the exterior, the interior, the infotainment system, and of course the pricing. And I'm quickly going to throw up the window sticker for this truck because it does have quite a few options added to this. So as I go around the truck here, you will notice all of those. For the different models available, first off, you can pick from different configurations depending on the model that you do pick. And then here are all of the different models available. As for the safety features, here is a list, and these are the standard ones plus the optional ones that this has. As for what powers this Limited Longhorn, this does have the optional 6.7 liter Cummins high output turbocharged diesel engine, which produces 430 horsepower and a 1,075 pound-foot of torque. And the way that this truck is spec'd out, you can tow about 18,820 pounds. And it has a payload of about 2,170 pounds. All right, well, let's start off in the front of this. These heavy duties look very, very nice with this updated look here that they have. And I think coming down the road, this thing is super aggressive. Now up here on your bumper area, you do have obviously a body color bumper. You got the front safety sensors that do run across, also the front recovery hooks there. And then on the corners, you do have the LED fog lights. And then really you just move into your grille area here. Now this has a ton of chrome. Now usually I'm not a fan of chrome, but on this truck it looks very clean. And if you notice right below here, you do have your sensor and then the grille. So look at all of the nice designing and how it's all laid out, especially like the cutouts here and on that side. And obviously you have the chrome Ram letters in the center with a front facing camera right underneath. And even up top here, the chrome flows into the lights and obviously down here as well. And then are these super cool and unique looking LED front lights. I really like the LED bar up there and then obviously your typical lights in the center. Now coming around to the side of the Limited Longhorn here, you do have the usual 2500 look obviously, and this truck does have the 6'4" bed, but you can also get the 8-foot bed. Now one thing that this truck does have added to it is up top here you will notice the power sunroof, and also you have the clearance lamps up top, and then around your windows just the black trim, but you do have chrome trim along the bottom here, which I really like the bits and pieces of chrome that they have on this. The door handles do come body color. As for the side mirrors, you've got the typical black plastic and then the chrome here, the lights and turn signals, all that good stuff. And then you have a side mirror camera, which I'm going to show you all of the angles on the touchscreen inside. And if I come around to the mirror here, this is a tow mirror, so you do have the top and the bottom section here, and then you do have this little light. Now on the fender here, you do have the Cummins turbo diesel badging. On the hood, on the side, you do have the 2500 heavy duty badging and then the Ram letters again on the side of the doors. This also has the power side step. So when you do open up the door, as you can see, and when you do close the door, these do sit nice and flush against the truck. Now, as for the wheels, these are super, super nice looking wheels. You've got the aluminums, the black, kind of like this matte finish. And these are your 22-inch wheels. I think it's pretty big for a heavy duty, but hey, these definitely complement the truck because if I do take a step back, you can see how nice these look. Now, as we walk around to the back here, on the bed, you do have the built-in Ram boxes. I really like these things because when you do open it up, you have a ton of room in here, which you can definitely utilize if you are using this truck for work and whatever you're using it for. You have a ton of room, plus you have a 115 volt outlet back here. But yeah, this is a good thing to have. You can obviously get it without this. The one thing with this, if you do get the Ram boxes, your bed does shrink a little bit inside in terms of space, but it's not that big of a deal because you have a ton of space on the sides. All right, coming around to the rear of the Limited Longhorn, the nice looks definitely continue. You've got the same body color bumper back here with the rear safety sensors. You got the hitch in the center there, and then up by the license plate area, you have all of your towing outlets and whatnot. And then also you'll notice by the side here on the bumper, you do have a step that does pop out. So if you just do this, that bad boy pops out just like that. Now on the tailgate here, you do have the Limited Longhorn Edition badging, the massive chrome Ram letters again, and then the 4x4 badging. And up by the tailgate handle area, you do have the backup camera. If you look right underneath, you do have an LED light, which is nice. And then you move into these cool looking LED lights. These are very nicely done. I love this red C-shape design going on. So yeah, definitely adds to the look. Now let's go ahead and open up the tailgate and let me show you what you have back here. This is a soft opening tailgate, obviously, which is always a good thing. Now back here, you will notice first off, you have the bed divider, and you also have the spray and bed liner, which I always suggest having if you are getting a pickup truck, so you're not scratching everything. You also notice on the sides, you do have the adjustable tie downs, which is another good thing to have. And you also have the LED bed lighting on both of the sides. Now, like I was mentioning about the space back here, so here you can see on the side, like this bulky section where your Ram boxes are. So it kind of makes it smaller-ish, but you can still fit quite a few things back here if you are using this, especially for work. But yeah, I think it's a benefit to have the Ram boxes in my opinion, but hey, not everyone likes them. Now over on the rear glass area, the middle portion is power sliding. And then if you look way up top, not only do you have a digital rear view mirror, but also a bed camera. All right, let's check the inside on this because the Limited Longhorns are very, very special. As you can see right off the bat here, you have brown interior. I really like how this is set up. So first off, down here, you have quite a bit of space that you can definitely utilize. You got a massive speaker here, and even the grille is chrome, and then you kind of have like this matte finish for your chrome along the sides of the speaker here. And up in the center, you have more space here, more chrome. You got the nice brown contrast stitching, and then the leather here. The fabric trimming here, it actually looks very unique in person. You have to see this truck because I don't think the video does justice. And you have more of the contrast stitching, wood trimming, and then this beautiful, beautiful designing. You're gonna notice all of this throughout the interior. Even your door handle is kind of like in this matte finish, which is very unique. So that's what that looks like. Now let's check out the interior because the seats are even better, I think. So inside here, you have a brown interior. Now you will notice like this truck is kind of themed like a cowboy style, but if you're into that or you're not, this truck still looks very cool. Now back here on the seats, again, you have the nice designing here, on there, on the sides, everywhere. The fabric trimming, the stitching, the piping, everything looks very, very clean. And you have the Limited Longhorn Edition badging at the back as well. Got the perforated back and bottom sections. Now this seat and the other outside seat does come heated, which is nice. And if you go ahead and pull down the middle section here, you do have your cup holders. And also lifting up the rear seats, you have this here, which kind of pops out, which I'm going to show you, and turns into like a table or like a storage space if you pull out everything. There's also some space under this. So all you got to do is just pop this up and then pop this bad boy up just like that. And that's what that looks like. If you do the same thing for the other side, you have this massive, massive space that you can definitely utilize. If you don't want to use this, that's fine as well because you have space here if you do want to use that. And also down here, you have more cup holders. And something that I like what Ram does is you do have these nice in-floor storage bins, and these can be popped out just like that if you do want to wash them. Now I'm going to jump back here and show you the legroom and the headroom in this. All right, so as you're inside the truck, you have a ton of room. This is a heavy duty truck, so you're going to have a ton of legroom. This seat can obviously be adjusted, so you're going to have a ton more legroom. Now in terms of the headroom, no issues at all. It is slightly a little tight. I wish I had a little bit more space, but again, I am wearing a hat, and for reference, I am 5'11", but still, I have good room to move around. I'm still comfortable. Now behind the driver and the passenger seat, I love how there's no plastic. It's all soft touch material plus the fabric trimming here. And then you have this storage spot on both of the seats at the back and like this nice belt buckle style going on. Now over on the rear center console area here, you have more cup holders, more of the nice wood trimming. You got like this bronze brownish trimming all around the rear venting, some space here if you do want to charge your phone, rear heated seat controls, USB ports, and 115 volt outlet. All right, let's check out the front and see if anything is different. Now up here, you will notice that down here you have a ton more room, plus like this cushiony area for 2 water bottle spots. You have another speaker here. Now this does have the nice Harman Kardon sound system, plus you have another small speaker up top there. Everything else is pretty identical to the rear trim that I've shown you, but obviously other than your typical window controls, side mirror controls, your driver memory seat controls. Now for these side mirrors here, you have a ton of controls. You have the light controls for the front and rear. You can also extend these out and bring them back in, and then also adjust the little small mirror at the bottom. So a lot of adjustments that you can do for your tow mirrors. Now let's check out the front seats here. These are identical to the rear seats with the same badging in the back here. Everything is identical. So I really like how in the truck here, you do have the nice badging, everything, the contrast stitching, the designing, and it's the same for the rear seats. Typically, you don't find that on vehicles. The rear seats are less, I guess, luxurious than the front seats, but in this, both are identical. Now, the front seats both come heated and ventilated, which is always a good thing. And on the side here is where you'll find all of your power adjustments. And down here, you do have like this chrome door sill piece that says Ram. Right now, it does have the sticker, so that's why it's blue, but it is chrome. And down here, nothing too special, just your fancy foot pedals. You've got the parking brake here. It's not electronic, it's manual. You got the 115 volt plug for the cargo in your Ram boxes that you can turn on or off. There is the hood latch release. Up here, you do have all of your lighting controls, exterior, and then your cluster dimmers. Now, up by the vent area here, you have more of the nice trimming here, and even the contrast stitching. And then the steering wheel does come manual adjustable. However, you will notice this control here, and that is for your pedals. These are power adjustable, which is nice. All right, I just want to show you something on the cluster area, because when I do start up the truck here, you do have this nice Longhorn animation that plays, which is pretty cool. All right, now entering inside, your dashboard does have the soft touch material, the hard plastic. You got a speaker in the corner, in the middle, and on the other side. And then up here, you will notice these nice grab handles. You got the nice material with the contrast stitching, so that definitely adds a nice touch as well. And then you come into this super nice looking, fully digital 12-inch cluster area. And what I like about this is you have the Longhorn up here, which is a nice little touch, but even like the bezeling in this, you have the nice designing. I don't know if the camera's gonna like pick it up, but yeah, you have the nice designing and even the illuminated lights on the corners. And on here, you can view a ton of different information. All of that is controlled through here and through here. So if I press this button here, this pops up and you can flick through all of this. But let's get out of this and just use the usual down arrows. So you have all of this different information that can be displayed. Now, something cool on this is if I go down to this one, number 5, you can also view a full map view. How nice is that? Now, if I go back to the first section here, in terms of how you want to view this, you can have it a analog section or a digital section. Now, as for the steering wheel, even this is brown. You got the soft material here and then the contrast stitching. This also comes heated, which is nice. And then you have more of the nice looking trimming that goes all the way around, and then more wood trimming down here. You've got the satin finish Ram badge, and then on the left side you have the cluster controls, the Bluetooth controls, and then more of the cluster controls here. The other side will have your follow distance, cruise control, and all of that good stuff, and also your gear limit. Now, another thing you'll notice behind is you do have the media controls on both of the sides. And then moving further back, you do have your wiper controls, high beams, and indicators. And since this is a diesel, this is what the shifter looks like. And even on this, you have the nice material. Now, over on the center armrest area, again, soft touch everywhere. Got the brown, the contrast stitching, and then this nice looking Limited Longhorn Edition badging. And opening up the first section here, you do have space that you can definitely utilize, but this does have a main section that looks like this. You have a ton of deep storage space, and if you look on this piece here, you do have the nice Easter egg. And if I move this whole thing back, you have more space up here, but let's move this up because space is here. And then you have all of these different measurements that you can definitely utilize. Now on the sliding portion, if I close all of this, look at this nice beautiful wood trim, more of the nice designing on the bezeling, as you can see. And opening this up, you have space in here. Opening this up, you have your cup holders. Moving this back all the way, down there you do have a 115 volt outlet, and here are 2 phone holders, which are both wireless phone chargers, and you have more USB ports and HDMI port because this does have a passenger screen. Now I just want to show you something on the side here, because look at this trim. It's so unique. It looks like it has like a bunch of different tents, but yeah, this looks super cool, and it goes all the way along the side of the touchscreen and to the top. You also have space on the side here, which you're also going to notice on the passenger side, and obviously more of the nice bezeling. Now up here, you do have all of your different controls. So your 2-wheel drive, 4 high, 4 low. It also says heavy duty. There's even wood trimming back here, more of the bezeling. And then really, you just get into your massive 14.4 inch touchscreen. Now, before I touch on the main section, I just want to show you some things down here. So here is your trailer brake controller, and then you can use the gain and all that from there. Here you have quite a few things. So you have your alt trailer height, tow haul, you've got your exhaust brake, your front and rear parking sensors to turn them on or off, and then is the screen. Now along the sides here, you have all of your heating and cooling temperature controls, but not only that, You have your traction control, hazards, and then your lane keep right there. Now, as for the touchscreen, this is what the home page looks like. I think this looks very nice because you have a split screen and you can view all sorts of different things. And even sliding over, you can add different widgets, edit the home page how you want it. Very nicely done. And then under the media section, this will be all of your AM, FM, Sirius XM, all that good stuff. Plus, you do have wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Now, under the comfort section, you can either use the center here or the side physical buttons, but on here is where you'll find the heated and vented seat controls and then also the heated steering wheel. Now, if you move over to the phone section, this is just your usual phone settings once you do have it paired. And then under vehicle, you have a bunch of things. Now, right now I'm under controls. So you have your mirror dimmer, bed lowering mode, passenger screen on off, power side steps, and then the vehicle cameras. Now, this has a bunch of different angles, like I was mentioning. So if I go to the surround camera here, this is gonna show me everything. I have the top bird's eye view, and then right now I have the rear facing camera activated. And here, if I do this, it's kind of like a wider full screen view. And this is same thing for the front, and then a narrower view for the front. Here is just the backup camera, and then here is the bed camera that I was talking about. And then if I go into more cams, you have all of this. So if I go under the driver blind spot, that's what that looks like for the side mirror cameras. So yeah, a ton of different angles, and parking and towing with this becomes super, super easy. Now let's exit out of all of this. If I exit this, you have the camera section, which I just touched on, and then the dashboard section, you do have the off-road pages here. And this is gonna bring up all sorts of different things, your dynamics, gauges, pitch and roll, all that good stuff. If I go back, and there's also the towing and trailers. So here you have trailer 1 and 2, and then you can adjust those once you do have your trailer connected. Now, under the settings section, this is typical on any vehicle. So you have all of these different things that you can definitely go through and customize to your liking. Next is the apps section. So you have a ton of apps in this. So it lists all of them here. You can view all of these. Plus you do have Alexa built in, which is nice. Now lastly, you do have the navigation section, and that's what that looks like. All right, now up here, behind the screen and on the dashboard, you have more of the wood trimming, plus you have more storage space up here. It also says RAM, and then you have an outlet right there. Now moving further up, not only do you have a rear view mirror, but you also have a digital rear view mirror. And then moving further up, you have a bunch of controls here. So you have your tailgate control, interior lights here, assist, SOS, sunroof controls, and then the rear power sliding window control. And if you pop this down, this is where you can put your sunglasses. Here is the key for the Limited Longhorn. You have your typical Ram key, but on the back here, it also says Ram Longhorn, which is nice. All right, let's come around to the passenger side, and let me show you what you get on this side. Now, like I was mentioning, you have more space on the side here, and then here is the passenger screen. I'm gonna touch on that in just a second. You've also got the Limited Longhorn edition engraved into the wood piece here. And then you have your typical glove compartment space. Now, let's touch on the touchscreen and show you what you get on this. All right, so here's the screen, and to turn it on, there is a button right here. So if you press that, it comes to life. Now on here, you have a bunch of things. You have the home page, your notifications, and then the control section. But on the home page here, you have your audio, video, HDMI, and I can swipe over. I have navigation, devices, and I can also see the vehicle cameras on this. How nice is that? And then you just have the notification bell here, which is for your notifications. Under controls, you just have your system stuff, power on, off, the brightness, and the wireless headphones that you can connect. And here is the window sticker for this Limited Longhorn. The pricing that you see is in Canadian dollars. Well, that does it for the review on this 2026 Ram 2500 Limited Longhorn. Let me know in the comments down below, what do you think of this?